Alright, hello and welcome. Today we're going to go over the reasons you remain defeated. Why are we defeated? And I'm not talking about money and cars and yachts and houses. I'm talking about spiritually, physically defeated. And to have power to heal sickness and to cast out devils. Mark 3:15. Luke 4:18, the Spirit of Yahweh is upon me because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. Now, many people go forth and they do get healed. There's people that say, I was healed by the name of this and when I was this age. But the scripture says they were healed because what? Many people were healed because of faith. Make sense? Many people are healed because of their faith. Woman, go forth and sin no more. So you can be healed because of faith. Not because you changed anything. Because essentially most healing is what? Getting rid of sin. There is sin that causes pain, that causes illness, that causes death if left unattended. Right? So we know there is sin that it says sin into death. So we have to be very careful when we go and we say, I have no problems, I have no sin. And the problem with the world is most people think they're sin-free. They're walking around, you have churchianity, you say a prayer, they think they're saved, and they're on a road that they think leads them to salvation. Or they think, as they profess, they're already saved. When you're already saved, what do you need of? Nothing, right? If you're saved, if you're in the ocean on the big liner, you're not worried. But he says we're wretched, we're naked, we're poor. Do you notice here it says to preach the gospel to the poor? It doesn't say to the rich, to the poor. So I would submit to you that many people are walking around, they're wounded, they're defeated, they have many problems because of what happened. What they do daily, what they've done in their past, all these things. And again, they're defeated because of what they have done. Oh, I didn't do wrong. I didn't live wrong. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I didn't do all this. But let's read it one more time. The Ruach of Yahweh is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. Now, if there was no need of preaching, then it wouldn't need to be done. Right? You can tell people what's wrong with them all day long, and you know what they'll say? I ain't doing nothing wrong. Quit drinking, quit taking drugs, quit taking this. Well, I can do it now because the government says I can. I can do it now because this one says I can. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted. What left the brokenhearted? What brings you to a broken heart? To preach deliverance to the captives. Many people don't even know they're a captive of the world. They think they're saved. They think they're on the ocean liner and everything is fine. And the recovering of the sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. Now, once you are healed, are you healed forever? In most cases, no. What did he say? Go and sin no more. So now we have the problem of what if I sin? Because people sin. If we say we don't sin, then we are liars. But there's people who think that they are saved, which essentially equals you don't sin. How can you sin and be saved? Doesn't work very good, does it? I can eat what I want, drink what I want, live how I want. I'm saved. Well, according to Scripture, you can't do the things you want. Your flesh wants donuts, right? Your flesh wants ice cream. Your flesh wants this. Back when I had problems with things, my body wanted donuts. It wanted ice cream. It wanted this. But my side hurt. It hurt. Every time I ate this, my flesh wanted these things. It didn't care it hurt later. It didn't care of the pain later. It didn't care. Right here, right now. We go back to the tree. If you do this, you will be like the Most High. She was already like the Most High. She already had well more than what she was going to get from doing that. Right? Makes sense? We are sold on fleshly things. We are sold on worldly things. We are sold on devilish things. Sadly, most people are full of demons, are listening to demons, are talking to demons, and what happens? You ever see people run around talking to themselves? Who are they talking to? If we're not real careful right here, they think they're saved. They think they're this. They think they're that. But the demons are all upon them. They are all over them. And until you recognize that, until you submit and say, I want to be free, and proclaim Yahweh, and proclaim Yeshua, and proclaim you are a sinner. See, the haughtiness says, I'm not a sinner, I'm not a liar, I'm not a thief, I'm not any of these things. And he said unto them, you will surely say unto me this proverb, Physician, heal thyself. Whatsoever we have heard done in Capernaum, do also here in thy country. Luke 4:23. They told him to what? They mocked him. They put upon him things that he should have not had to deal with in a way, right? He was the Messiah. They should have known this. But he had to do it because of us. So what we have to understand is what's really going on. What happens in our life? Is it because of us? And in most cases it is. In most cases, it's directly something we've done. It's not because, I was blind from birth for the gospel. This happened to me because of this. It happened because what? And it should bring a relationship. The problem happens is he wants a relationship. He wants to get your attention. He's trying to tell you something. And in many cases, people do what? It's not that. It's not this. It's not that. You go to church and we have prayer. And we sit around and we wait for Sarah to come up and pray for Sarah. And she comes up and she gets prayed for. And she smiles and she says, yeah, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I'm going to see what the doctor says. What? There's no faith there. Why are you getting prayed for? Now, we know the way life is. We know the way things come to us. We know the enemy sitting there trying to tell us why this is that and what's going on. The problem is, in most cases, their friend is the enemy. Because the church, so-called churchianity, we'll say, has told us, you raise your hand, you repeat Acts 2:38, you get immersed, you do this, you do that, and you are okay. But the scriptures tells us we have preachers, we have teachers, we have evangelists, we have all these people, and Yeshua shows us this. People say, I don't need all that anymore. I read my Bible. Well, would you have said that to him? You probably would have. You realize that? You would have been a modern day Pharisee. You would have been a scribe. I've wrote all this down. I know what the Bible says. Who are you? In many cases, we should listen and hear. That's what it's all about. Listen and hear. Hear and obey. And put him first in all things. We think we done good because one day we woke up and we said a prayer. We read the Bible and we did this. And for one day we was the super, super, super great. And the next 6 months we don't do anything. But we still claim we're saved. We still claim the same attributes. We still claim all these things. But what he wants is a relationship. He wants you to talk to him, and you need to talk to him. It's called prayer. The woman with the issue of blood, did he know her? Did he know her? The whole thing that we're searching for is salvation. Even beyond your healing is salvation. Because if you gain the whole world, if you're healed, but you lose your soul, what's the point? So the thing what we're really searching for is he knows us, we know him. Because did you notice when she grabbed him, he didn't speak to her, did he? He said, someone has touched me. A lot of people go around saying, I was saved, I was this, I was that, and I know there's power in the name because this name, no, it's your faith. Her faith made her whole. Her faith in him. So we can have healing in Yahweh, in Yeshua, because of faith. But he didn't know her, did he? Did he say her name? Did he say woman? He didn't even recognize her first. He asked, who has touched me? And his disciples, what are you talking about? There's people all over you bumping into you. What do you mean, who has touched you? Paraphrasing, right? There's all kinds of people that's touched you. No, someone has grabbed a hold of my seat. Someone has grabbed a hold of the power. Someone has had enough faith to believe that if they grab these seats, they'll be healed. In today's world, what? That's a foreign concept. It's like going and speaking Chinese at Walmart. What? If we're not careful, we just don't get it. Right? We want to go and we say, oh, well, I believe. But many of these cases, what happens? Being defeated is a temporary condition. Giving up is what makes it permanent. How many people have been in the hospital and they've been having this problem and that problem, and they get prayed for and they get up and they start doing good, but then all of a sudden, recourse, right back to where they started and worse. What was it? Their faith, their life. So in many cases, what do? We look at the other side. We look at what would have been, what should have been, what this is and what that is. My son, fear thou Yahweh and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. Many times we change our theory in the middle. We change our theory because of what we've heard. We change all of what we think we've known because why? What has this last year taught us? If we sit on the fence, nothing happens. We can sit on the fence and look at both sides and say, yeah, they have a valid point. No, they don't have a valid point. Yeah, we think they kind of... And we can sit there all day. But we are called to do what? Speak the truth. How many times have people lied, did all kinds of things, and we don't think it's much, but Yahweh forgive us It may cost us down the road. We go and we do something, right? We'll just put it in literal terms. Just plain as plain can be, right? You're 18, you're newly married, and you marry John. And you think it's a great grand idea to put John across your chest. And John thinks it's a great idea to put your name across his chest. 6 months, a year later, you and John can't stand each other. And you can't get along, and you don't want to get along, and everything happens, adultery and fighting and all this. 5 years down the road, guess what? You and Henry are doing great. And you take down your top and he sees John, and his thing is, who is John? Well, honey, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it kind of does. I've never heard about no John. Well, yeah, I told you I didn't like him and I hated him, but you didn't tell me this. The whole point is what happened 5 years ago might have been hidden, might have been nothing, but at some point in time, it's still there. It's always been there. Make sense? The reap what we sow process causes problems. Our defiance, what really causes our defeat, is what? What we do. Again, it's about a relationship with the Creator. It's all about being in a relationship with Him. Because if we're not in that relationship, how does He remove that plague? Psalms 38:10. Ourself be defeated. Remove your plague from me because of the opposition of your hand. So what do we have here? If we're not very careful, we have proof of what's going on. We have proof of what is happening. Make sense? We have to go and learn the ways of Yahweh. If we're not learning what He says, then we are being defeated. And in a lot of cases, we are being defeated because we think He has changed. Malachi 3:6. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. He does not change. He still wants us to be healed. He still wants us to be right. He still wants us to live right. The problem becomes is we want to parade around and say, I'm super Christian. I can read the Bible. I can do this. I can do that. I can do all these things through Him who strengthens me. And for a lot of so-called rich people, their God is not the living God, Elohim Yahweh. Because if you notice, it's talking about poor. The rich man, what does he get? His rewards now. The poor man wants his rewards when it's over. The point is, a lot of people, because of their background, the way they was raised, the way they was taught, their mama, their daddy, all these things leads them to believing the snake on the pole is a good thing. The one who talks to them in the bathroom is a good one. It's a good thing. It's good. If it leads to chaos, it's not good. Well, a voice told me to go in and check on you, and when I checked on you, something chaotic happened. Do you really think an angel or the Creator would be spying on you to make chaos? You see what I'm saying? A lot of people are confused with pixie dust and all kinds of things, thinking that's the way of the Creator, when it's really a demonic thing. So we have to rebuke all that, get away from all that, and know that we have to be a part of the Creator, not about what everybody else is doing. The latest craze, Hillsong Church wants to sing, hey, this one wants to do that, this one wants to do that. If we don't know what we're doing, the best thing to do is get a hold of the Bible. Get a hold of a true man of Yahweh. And to keep pushing forward. I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. Right? This is what Bill C says. If we're not careful, we let the world, we're worried about the world. Why do many Christians profess and do what they do? They're worried about the world. They're worried about being different than the world. You go to Shalom Assembly, wherever, and what happens? They look like the world. They talk like the world. They sound like the world. So is there any difference that we wonder that why are they so worldly? Why do they do the worldly things? Why do they look like the world? Why do they talk like the world? And why is their healing and their help just like the world? We have to go forth and be more than conquerors. We have to go and do the work and the will of Yahweh. That means we must be right, but we must fix what has come to be wrong. Now, with all that being said, what happens when you're the blind man? What happens when you have the illness or sickness? What happens? You either believe in the Creator and you keep your faith, or you turn into Judas and go hang yourself. You go shoot yourself. You go and do something that's more heinous than you've ever done. Right? So in a way, you're choosing who your God is. In a way, you're choosing, well, Churchy Andy says, I get it all in a cup of tea. And if I have it all in a cup of tea, I'll live for him. I'll live this way. I'll do this way. But think of Job. What did the enemy tell the Creator Yahweh? He's only with you because he has it so good, basically. If you take away the things from him, he'll curse you. Right? So sometimes we have to come upon those things, and the enemy is laughing and giggling and saying they're going to fail, and when they fail, it's going to be horrendous, and that's going to be that. So it's up to us. Do we believe in Yahweh? Do we care for this life more than eternity? More than what we want, more than what our flesh wants, more than what our body says. Our body cries out for things that's no good for us. And our flesh and the enemy will get us in so much trouble, we'll stay in a defeated life. We have to go and do the will of Yahweh. We have to read His scriptures. We have to know. And to the world, we may look defeated. To the world, the way we live, in their eyes, in many cases, is defeated. What's he wearing that? Why don't you shave? Why don't you look like us? Why did you wear this? What's the seats? What are you doing? But to the Creator, and when we reach out and we holler and we call out, He will hear us. Right? He will know us. He will hear what we have to say. So we have to do His will and put Him first, and not live, not even in our mind, in a defeated state. We wake up, and today is a day of salvation. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, not Yahweh, forgive us, and go forth and be more than conquerors. We can't be conquerors if we're laid on the field beaten. So I hope this is edified. I hope it helps. Until next time, may Yahweh bless you. May His countenance shine upon you, and may He grant you shalom. Shalom, everybody. Thank you very much for listening, for watching, and may Yahweh bless you. Shalom. Get up, go forth, and be more than conquerors. Shalom, and Yahweh bless.